Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we are exploring a new open source A2UI protocol that allow AI agent to generate UI rather than just text. Think of button, forms, charts coming directly from AI agent without writing any UI code. A2UI is a declarative UI protocol for agent application that allow agent to generate interactive UI that can run across the platform and without sending any HTML. The problem with the existing application, the agent generally text-based application where user has to do a lot of back and forth between the agent, and these seems to be like insufficient. So imagine like if there is a UI, then user can just click on the button rather than doing all these text messages. So this is a problem that's solved by A2UI protocols that allow agent to send a structured UI in a JSON format that can be used by any library like Angular or React to render the UI component for the same. And you can see this example where these UIs are rendered by this JSON format. This diagram exactly show how this protocol works. According to this specification, there are four main objects like surface update, data model, begin rendering, and delete surface. As I showed you in example earlier, the surface update basically contains the list of all the HTML component, and the data model has the values, and begin rendering is kind of an indication that the client that there is enough information to start the rendering process. So once client receives this message from the agent, it parse the JSON object and it creates the component tree based on the surface update and the data model update. Once it is ready, the UI is presented to the user, and once the user interact with that interface, for example, click on the button, the client send response back to the server, and then server again update all these four components and send back to the client for re-rendering. Now the real question arises how this JSON object actually convert into the real HTML. Do we need to write this code ourselves and that for each platform like Angular React? The answer is no. This is where these client renders library will be used. These renders convert your A2UI JSON message directly into your UI component and for the different platform. And here are the available libraries. For Lit, Angular Flutter is already available, and for React, it is coming in 2026 quarter one. There are libraries that will take care of your JSON message and write the HTML for you automatically. You don't need to read the JSON and map to the components. You don't need to do it manually. This is automatically done by those libraries. But the question is how your agent actually generate this response. So this is the A2UI schema where it's defined all that definition of those components that we described, the surface component and the update model. And this is the prompt to the your agent that how to generate this response. And you can see, for example, we are giving this response must be formatted to the A2I JSON delimiter, and we are providing the schema here. And this schema is imported from this library. So this prompt actually gives the agent instruction to convert your, for example, we are finding the restaurant and all these restaurant lists into this JSON format. And then this JSON format actually passes to the client, and then client render library read this JSON object and then render your UI. So we already know about the schema definition, that is a surface update, data model, and begin rendering object at the root level. And the surface model, as I mentioned, are actually your HTML component. And you can see here we have, for this example, book table for 2 tomorrow at 7 at restaurant booking example. We have a header, root, and guest field and a submit button. And in the guest field, we have this number of guests, and then there is a reservation. And you can see here, notice this path, the text. So this path actually come from, it's basically define the value of the number of guests. It's coming from this path. You see this in the data model object. We have this reservation, and then inside that we have guest. And similar to the date, we will have the date as well. So this is how your surface update component IDs or your actually the value of the component actually mapped to the data model object. This is just for the knowledge. Actually, your client library already know this, and it will automatically read the value from this data model update and update your text box values or whatever the control you want to update. And once client made update to this client update this solution guest, no message sent to agent yet. And when user click on the confirmation, then this user action, this is what the client sent back to the user. So the user action, the name, the confirm, the surface ID, and it sent the context like what has been changed. So it sent the guest and the date and time. And then agent respond with the delete surface ID booking to clean up and then send the new UI. Hopefully this clears the overall picture how data flow between agents, and once event occur, how client send back to the server and then server send back data to the client for the re-rendering. A2UI let agents pick UI, uses declarative JSON, no unsafe code, work across the platform, and it make interfaces generated dynamically by AI. If you are AI developer, you should explore A2UI more. I will add link to the documentation. If you like this breakdown, hit like and subscribe. See you in the next video.